The moment some of you been waiting for, Gervonta Tank Davis finally gets it. Champion status is... We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego Unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Grand opening, grand closing. Gervonta Tank Davis, it keeps happening for him. Not in a good way. And in this video, I'm going to take you through it. Gervonta Davis officially has been removed as a full and regular champion. I will put the link in the description. Boxing scene, boom. You never know. Gervonta Davis named the WBA champion in recess, faces decision on the title. Let me explain for those who are not in the know. Gervonta Tank Davis has far worse things outside the ring to worry about than his current title status. However, the WBA officials are planning to keep the line moving in the lightweight direction. Boxing scene confirmed the decision was made for Baltimore's "We Got a List Too" Tank Davis to be named as champion in recess at lightweight, given his mounting legal troubles. The decision came in the wake of his arrest by Miami Gardens, Floridian Police Department, stemming from an incident that took place in October. Sanctioning body's executive committee is expected to soon make a decision whether to move forth with a vacant, 135-pound title fight. President Mendoza confirmed Tank Davis's downgraded title status. The development functionally ends Davis's reign of more than 4 years as the primary WBA titleist. He previously had the regular blah, blah, blah. Davis is currently being sought by Miami Gardens police as part of an investigation that has now included multiple law enforcement parties and so on and so forth. The troubled boxer is being charged with battery. I already went over his charge. I'll do it again. My bad. When you're a content creator, you just go over the same information sometimes. Battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping stemming from allegations of DV from a former love interest right before Halloween. The severity of the alleged crime was the subject of a civil lawsuit filed by the woman, which resulted in Davis being removed from a novelty fight with Jake Paul. We already know that. And so on and so forth. So I made a post about it. Gervonta Davis, it is what it is. They have essentially stripped him, right? And let me move this over for you guys. They've essentially stripped Gervonta Davis. They haven't come out and just said it, but Chris Brown voice. Girl, I just want to see you strip right now, 'cause it's on, babe. Girl, I just want to see. It's pretty much what happened, right? They pretty much, it's going to take a Hail Mary or something to kind of change, I guess you could say, change the trajectory of where this is headed. So I want to spend some time giving my thoughts and kind of talking about what this means for the lightweight picture and the WBA situation. My truest thoughts. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It really don't matter. And I'm going to explain why. And it's so funny because on my channel, I'm going to talk my talk. If you don't like it, I don't care. I'm going to always talk my talk. This thing here It's called YouTube, not Us Tube, not We Together Tube, not All in the Family Tube. It's called YouTube, aka Ego Tube. So I'm gonna speak my opinion, and my opinion on this unpack. Let me unpack it. Let me get this. And it's funny because so many people, they're like, "Oh, come on, no, Ego, you're wrong." If I'm so wrong, you start a channel and you talk about that on your channel. Good luck to you. Pass me. Do what I've done. Do the numbers I've done. And, you should be off to the races. Anywho, here's why it don't matter. Now, I'm not saying it don't matter in terms of his personal life, because I'm not the judge, jury, and executioner. And it sounds like the charges are very serious. So what he's being alleged of is, something he's going to have to deal with in the court of law, right? So I'm not even referring to that. But as far as the WBA stripping him, it don't really matter, because when you're someone of Tank Davis's stature, it really don't matter. It really don't matter. Floyd, Pacquiao in his prime, Canelo, Tank, the belt is not defining you. Like, even on a smaller scale, you look at like a Ryan Garcia, insanely popular without ever having been a champion. And here's the thing. I'm not going to call any names. Actually, I am going to call names because I do whatever I want. I just changed my mind right on the spot. Abdullah Mason, Ryan Garcia, you can say whatever you want about each fighter, but if they both went live at the same time, whose live do you think will have more people in it? Ryan Garcia or Abdullah Mason? Boom. You never know. Huh? So the point I'm making is this. There's a lot of people that will say Abdullah Mason has all of the potentials to be a long-standing person who eventually makes it on the pound-for-pound list. And he's currently a champion, and he beat Sam Noakes for a title. So you have an Abdullah Mason who is right now is a champion. Great fighter. I'm watching his journey. So it's not shade to him. But in terms of the brand, the star build doesn't up with Ryan Garcia, right? And there's a lot of people that would be like, Ryan's a cheater. I don't like him. Ryan is racist. Ryan ain't never been a champion. Ryan pulled out with anxiety. All of these things, right? But if Ryan Garcia went live and Abdullah Mason went live, we know which one will be bigger. And whether you like it or not, that is the truth of star power, right? For example, I'll give you another. I'm the king of analogies. Y'all know that. McDonald's outsells most mom and pop burger spots. However, it doesn't mean McDonald's even has the best burger, but they're the best known for the burger, right? Like, for example, if you come out to my backyard, Vallejo, I'm from the Vallejo. Where selling is all I know, right? You come out to Vallejo, you know, the 707, say it backwards. Yee. You come out here, right? We got a burger place called Bud's Burgers. Delicious. It's a Vallejo, it's a V staple, right? Ask 40 in them. We be at the Bud's Burgers ever since I was a little young mustache, right? Ask 40 in them. Ask 40. Right? Burger killing McDonald's. It don't change the fact that McDonald's sell 1 billion burgers a day. You dig? So, little lesson, especially, and it's only going to trend this way even more. Like, that's why you think Jake Paul is the biggest boxer that's ever lived? No. But he's more popular and he's branding himself and he's doing these deals with Netflix. How come, who else is a champion? Dalton Smith. He just became a champion, right? Great performance versus Subriel Matias. How come he ain't did a deal with Netflix? How come Netflix ain't interested in the bloke from the UK? Oh, yeah, I might want my week, mate. Why they ain't doing no deal with him? You see what I'm saying? I seen a flyer the other day. It said Garcia versus Barrios. Ryan complained because the champion, Barrios' name was before his name. And then now all of a sudden on the new flyers I seen him post, it say Garcia and Barrios. Barrios is a champion though. You know what I mean? So Tank in terms of belt or no belt, that's not even really to the culture. That's not even a deciding factor. Like when Wilder was on top of the game and like in his prime, he could have had the WBC or not had. He was entertaining people. He was talking the talk. He was knocking fools out. You think the Beezies and the Broads is going to be like, oh, I don't want to go to the Barclay fight because there's no WBC title. They don't know all that. Oh, there's no WBA. Or even Crawford. Up until recently, after the Errol Spence and the Canelo fights and stuff, Crawford had been a man with one belt and he still wasn't bigger than other people, right? But he had that WBO belt. So the belt ain't going to really change nothing. And to further illustrate my point, the WBA, I'm glad, strip him. If that's what it is, strip him. Champion in recess, cool. But guess what? This is, without Tank, you don't have no real, like, motion for real. You got Francisco Fonseca as a WBA gold. Tank already beat him, and then Ryan Garcia knocked him out brutally, and then Tank knocked out Ryan Garcia. You see how that? So, yeah, even if you remove him, cool. And then you have number one, Floyd Schofield, cool up-and-coming fighter. Ain't mad at that. But Schofield, 2025, pulled out 2 times. He was supposed to fight Jojo Diaz, pulled out with hand injury and had some mosquito bites or something on his hand that he showed. Then he had the Shakur fight in February, pulled out of that too. So your number one rated person pulled out of 2 fights. And one said this crazy story about he been poisoned in Saudi and all this other stuff. Then number 2, you have Lucas Body, good fighter with MVP. Jake Paul knocked out Ashton Sylvie. So cool. Take the belt from Gervonta Davis and then make your number 1 and 2 guy fight. Good luck with that. Put it on an MVP card or Golden Boy card and have fun. And these dudes still not going to be bigger stars than infamous Gervonta Davis, even with the legal trouble. And let me talk. And then you got Bakadir Usmana. Man, come on, bro. So, yeah, the WBA can have fun with that. Now, I also want to talk about the sheer fakeness in the sport of boxing. This is how fake boxing is, right? People talk bad about Gervonta Davis right now, so to speak, right? But how many of boxing's stars or former stars have the craziest personal lives that we've ever seen? Like, for example, Edwin Valero. Look up his story. Great fighter with immense power. He's like one of boxing's biggest what ifs, right? Edwin Valero unalived his wife. And based on his in-ring, him being a beast in the ring, that's what some people just focus on, right? They don't talk about the actual end of him, how he unalived his wife and then himself, right? They still talking about, oh, man, I wish he would have fought Pacquiao. Oh, man, he has so much power. They're not even really, and he did like Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, DV or taking someone's life and then taking your life. But you don't really hear like Edwin Valero slander for real. People talk about the good days and the good moments of his career, right? That's one. Two, here's someone even more known, Mike Tyson. This man has had the most infamous past probably in boxing history, because in terms of how big he was versus how many issues he had. Like, he actually went to prison for a charge regarding females, right? But he got a one-man Broadway show. He had a podcast. He's doing videos with Conor McGregor. Oh, I like Conor McGregor. Conor, he's pretty funny because I study them all. I know the art of war. I studied Attila the Hun and Sun Tzu. I studied them all. That's why I'm a killer. That's why I was so feared, because nobody could up with me. Because I'm the god of war. And I'm crying because I don't want that guy to come back. Because if he come back, hell is coming with him. Right? The great Mike Tyson has crazy... I don't even want to say it because it'll tag my video up and then they will try to take my paper. There's a lot to let y'all come in to take my paper when I'm working hard to put out these unpacks of the videos. So I'm not going to allow that. So what a lot of these people did, I can't even say on wax because the algorithms are sensitive. It will trigger the algorithm. So I'm not even going to go into detail. But just type in Mike Tyson, Robin Givens, Mike Tyson, court case, blah, blah, blah. Yet all these people are regarded, and so on and so forth. Boxing personalities like your boy, Jim Lampley, right? But everybody's coming down on Tank. There's a lot, like, if we really break it down, many of these boxers, and I'm not talking, there's different severities, but Devin Haney got baby mama drama right now. Now, it might not be on some physical stuff, but initially there was a TMZ article where she said it was physical and then later recanted. That was her words, right? She was like, I was pregnant and Devin pushed me or something, right? And I could pull all this stuff up. But when it comes to the Haney-act content creators, right? They don't bring that up. You see how this works? You see how this game works? Boom. TMZ. Boxing star Devin Haney X gets restraining order. He pushed me to the ground when I was prego. So I am not condoning physically touching a woman. That's not what this video is about. What this video is about is the double standard in which some of you guys pick and choose. Sergey Kovalev, look him up. And then here's the thing with like the WBA and all this, like stripping him. He ain't even went to court yet. Like, can we see how this stuff play out? Right? What happened to due process? What happened to innocent until proven guilty in the court of law? You know what I mean? But everybody is already quick to exclaim and talk about what happened and what not. For me, I'm not the man upstairs. I'm not GOD. So it's not even my business. And it's funny because me saying these things, it makes some people mad. They'll be like, you're just defending Tank. Oh my gosh. And then they start saying it like I'm the illa, like I did something. I ain't got no arrest. It don't have nothing to do with me. So you could try your best to blame it on me, but that's just laughable. I don't have no issue. So you could blame it on me all you want. It don't have nothing to do with me. This ain't my life. It ain't my court case and not my battle. But I just want to talk about the double standards. The other issue for me that was kind of weird with this Tank situation is the fact that all the information that we know now is what we knew months ago. And then it kind of died down. And then the day the Miami Police Department did too much and then did that like public shame press conference and issued a warrant. Now everyone is like, oh my gosh, oh my word, heavens to Bitsy. This is the same stuff that got the Jake Paul fight canceled. You know, the same situation. So we've been knew about this in 2025. So I don't even understand why people are acting like this is something brand new. Like he got it, like it's another charge. That part threw me off. How people are acting like some new evidence came out. They said they had a tape before the Jake Paul fight. They said this occurred in October before the Jake Paul fight. I've already done the recordings. This is why, allegedly, the Jake Paul fight got canceled. So why is everyone acting brand new? Because Miami PD did a press conference and issued a warrant. Like the WBA, they ain't come out and say, oh, we're making him a champion of recess when the allegations came out and the Jake Paul fight got canceled. So it's just like a weird move. But either way, I don't care. I think Tank got to get his life together and figure out, hash out all this stuff in court, the court of law, due process, and then keep it trucking. When he comes back, he'll only be bigger as a fighter, and it just makes him more infamous. People are going to be like, oh, we got to see how it plays out. And I think there's also in this world, and when it comes to celebrity, when you have, like he had the Lamont Roach fight and people feel the type of way. So there's also some trickle down effect where people, they're mad at he took a knee. Why he take a knee? You know, they're still on the he took a knee stuff to the point where like they're like, yes, he got stripped of his belt. And it's funny that old media and a lot of the Haniac content creators, other people, they're going to celebrate Tank not being a champion. But to be honest, it only makes boxing look weaker because no one took his belt from him, right? So, cool. Now you have a smaller fight potentially with Lucas Body and Floyd Schofield. So I don't really think it makes boxing look better or bigger. You know what I mean? You should want the biggest stars to kind of keep the sport afloat, but Tank got so many haters that they don't care. They're just like, oh, you took a knee, so haha, you lost your belt. And that's what the game is like becoming, a gossipy playground where everybody's on some ha-ha, na-na-na boo-boo stuff. They don't even care. It ain't even about like what's right. And it's funny because Devin Haney got girl problems, if you will, with his BM. And the Haniac content creators, they refuse to even talk about it, like I mentioned earlier. And then the people in comments that are talking about it, they're like, man, this is why you never trust a OnlyFans or a Taz Angel's girl. And she's trying to get money out of Devin and won't. And they're all on the man's side when it comes to that situation, not knowing explicit details. But they've already judged the girl, talking about she just want money, she a gold digger, won't. But then when it comes to Tank, the guy that they don't like, they against the man and they on the girl's side and they don't know all the details, but then they're saying the girl must be right. So the Haniac content creators, let's understand the logic. When this is his baby mama, they had a kid with him and she putting out all this stuff talking about, oh man, Devin pushed me and womp, right? And I want custody and blah, blah, blah. They like, man, Devin can't do no wrong. It's all her fault. She out for money. She the wrong woman. But then they not saying that with this unnamed girl when it come to Tank Davis, and they don't know any more details in any of them. For me, I don't care what's happening with none of it. This ain't my personal life. So for real, it don't really affect me. I'm just reporting it for you guys, the fans. But it's funny, the double standards and how people pick and choose. And 1 minute the guy's right and the girl's the problem. And then when it comes to Tank, it's Freaky Friday. It's all Tank's fault. And I know he did it and he need to turn himself in. Oh my gosh, how could he do this? Same old. So nothing really changes. Just wanted to give you guys an update. For more boxing news, 2026, let's make this a big year. If you like real breakdowns where I unpack it and go over it, not like kicking out a bunch of 2-4 minute videos and stuff, trying to, keep activity on my channel. I'm doing deep dives and real breakdowns. Use my link me if you like that. Many ways to support the channel. The support links are there. The ways to subscribe and follow me. Listen, I don't follow the headlines. I make them. We unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.